It is. I don't know why my screen is shooting these fireworks here while I do this. I'm trying to do a two thumbs up here, making the magical sign here. It's all in your head. You just have no idea how big your head is. This is a t-shirt that was made up for me by the good folks at Magical Egypt a number of years ago. I'm sure you can get it on whatever those t-shirt sites are. Uh, but it's a pretty good picture, actually. It's all in your head. You just have no idea how big your head is. And I'm going to sort of talk about that this morning. But first, I want to share The Moon and Serpent Bumper Book of Magic by Alan Moore and Steve Moore. Now, just look at that cover of this magnificent, huge, thick, colorful book. And he's got the Thoth Magician card in his hand. This is a masterpiece. Okay, this is a masterpiece, a tour de force. It is delightful. It will be immortal. Rabbi Lamed Ben Clifford literally was raised from the dead to enjoy this book of magic, Kabbalah, and all the shit that we're interested in. Okay, and there's like graphic novel stuff. There's fun things, there's games, there's things to do on a rainy day. Okay, and it all looks so light and beautiful and pleasant, and it's just about the heaviest magical book. The history, the unadulterated history of our craft. It is absolutely wonderful. It is a desert island book that you would take with you, and if you ever thought about having children, okay, it's a very adult book. Make no mistake about it. It's very adult, but it so painlessly introduces, encapsulates, uh, honors the magical world. And someone was just absolutely insanely generous enough to send this to me. And if you're familiar with Alan Moore's Promethea series, you know what a brilliant treasure this man is. Okay, so that's my plug for today. I am wearing my "It's All in Your Head. You just have no idea how big your head is" T-shirt, uh, because that statement. Okay, I don't know where I made it first. I think it was in. Uh, could have been back in Angels, Demons, and Gods, the New Millennium. Uh, but certainly I credit the quote to Rabbi Lamed Ben Clifford in the Chicken Kabbalah. And it's not that I believe that. It should be a self-evident fact, but it's very easy to misunderstand because magicians and the art form of magic is executed as if the gods, the spirits, angels, the demons uh, have an objective reality all by themselves and would exist before, during, and after our incarnation and our ability to act as an observer of their existence. Yeah, you can argue that, okay, for sure. And I'm often taken to task by being accused of saying, oh, DuQuette says it's all subjective and it's psychological. Excuse me, I've been having a cough this morning. And it's all psychological and stuff. And when I know for sure that Metatron, he comes to me, you know, he knocked a lamp off of the table. You know. Okay. And it's not true. And I try to say, no, I'm not arguing with you. I agree 100% about the objectiveness of everything that's subjective. But people dig their heels in and say, no, DuQuette's all psychological. He takes all the magic out of magic. Yeah, right. Okay. So here's something, just a brief little thing that I wrote up, and I'll just briefly share it with you today to once again try to put to rest what I'm really trying to say when I say it's all in your head. You just have no idea how big your head is. Now, you'll often hear me say it's all in your head. You just have no idea how big your head is. It's sort of a brash and outrageous statement, but I believe it's profoundly true. At least I believe it is ultimately true. The quote has caused a great deal of misunderstanding, however, especially among my fellow magicians, who mistakenly choose to interpret my words as suggesting that I don't believe in the objectivity of gods and angels and spirits and demons to be as real as anything else in objective reality. If we disagree about anything, it's not the reality of the gods and spirits. It's about the reality of objective reality. Would you like to hear those last two sentences again? If not, I'm going to say it anyway. Please don't misunderstand me. I consider gods and angels and spirits and demons to be as real as anything else in objective reality. If we disagree about anything, it's not the reality of the gods and spirits. It's about the reality of objective reality. I credit the quote to Rabbi Lamed Ben Clifford, who happens to be someone I created in my own head to write a couple of books that have been published and distributed in what many of us temporarily agree is objective reality. Now, if you are among the lucky few who have read these books, you've done so as a temporary fellow citizen of our shared objective reality. And you've inserted all the words and information these books contain inside your head, where Rabbi Lamed Ben Clifford and his wisdom then become real and alive to you inside your head, where absolutely everything else in the universe, where everything that is, everything that was, and everything that ever can be known to you exists. It's all in your head. You just have no idea how big your head is. That's a big responsibility. And obviously, most people refuse to accept such an awesome burden. But magicians are at least supposed to try. Now, in this day and age, we have at our fingertips centuries worth of colorful magical books, especially that one over there, and grimoires and entire systems like Solomonic magic and Goetia and Kabbalah-based and Enochian magic, not to mention all of the Hindu and the Chinese and the other thousands, myriads of folk magic realities and systems, all with pantheons of gods and angels and spirits and demons, along with what appears to be recipes and instructions to call up and deal with all these entities, as if they were objective and independently existing personages. Obviously, whoever wrote these grimoires and developed these systems had heads. And all this came out of. And when you read and study this material, you have a head that all of this goes into. And that's where it all becomes real. And no matter how faithfully you try to adhere to the written recipe, no matter how scrupulously you try to follow the directions, it will still only be all in your head. It's easy to be awed by the elegance and complexity of systems like John Dee's Enochian magic. The written material that we study is breathtaking in its scope and very inspiring, especially when things start to click for us as we absorb the information. But we must always keep in mind that the D material was a snapshot of D's head. A snapshot of how D came to terms with the magic, and how D had to approach reality. Now that it's your head, you will have to make the magic your own. As Constance always reminds me, an average cook follows a recipe as best they can. But master chefs understand the recipe and create on from there. The study of magical texts and grimoires and other magicians can ultimately never be more than just suggestive. Because it's all in your head. Your head. And you have no idea how big your head is. And that's my words of wisdom for today. If possible, try to find that book and mortgage your house to get it. It's really, really a delight. Once again, I'll show it to you. The Moon and Serpent Bumper Book of Magic by Alan Moore and Steve Moore. And the entire book is as delightful as the cover. Until tomorrow, continue to be good to yourself and be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will. It's all in your head. You just have no idea how big your head is.